All right, everybody. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and welcome to It's Quest Time. Now, before we get going, I'm going to ask you guys if you cannot send me any text messages while I'm up here, because listen, when you're moving around like this, and all of a sudden, this big wall of text in front of you, it can really throw you off. So if you have anything like that, please save it for the end. I'd appreciate it. Also, if you could notice that you have, if you could stay off this stage area here, this way nobody really blocks this big display behind me, and it gives me a little bit of room to move around, do the whole hosting thing, right? Now, also, you're going to notice that on your menu wheel in the lower left, at the very top of that is a microphone icon. Now, when that microphone icon is red, that means that you're muted, right? So we won't be able to hear anything that's happening around you. So if somebody comes into your space and says, hey, are you still on that thing? Feel free to answer them, because we're not going to hear that. Likewise, if you have like maybe a barking dog in the background, you're not going to face social ruin back at the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that suddenly started barking during its quest time, right? And just because you're muted does not mean you can't express yourself. You're going to notice that you have this pink sheet smiley face in your menu wheel, and when you press on it, you are going to have a wide variety of options with which to express yourself, right? So if I say something really deep, something powerful and meaningful in here that starts to build up inside you, you can just let it out and just let it flow just like that, right? Maybe I got some backup dancers backstage, right? And they come out and we break into It's Quest Time, the musical, and you're all very impressed. You can throw up the applause that I live for just like that, and I can take a moment to drink it all in because it feels good. All right, now if I ask you guys a yes or a no question, you could say yes by smiling like this right here. You can say no by frowning like that, like that. And if I say something funny, you want to show me you're laughing, you can throw up the silly faced emoji just like that, right? And then there's this thing. This is by far the most distracting of all the emojis, and this is not how you ask a question. We will be taking questions and comments at the end of this event, but what we're going to do is we're going to use this as a signal, right? This is how you guys are going to let me know something's gone wrong, right? Like, for example, maybe somebody, one of our moderators has had seen It's Quest Time one too many times, and they decide to set the stage on fire, but I don't know because I'm up here and it's behind me, and you got to let me know, like, Michael Forrest, there's a fire right behind you. It's time to run, yeah. So that's going to be our pact. It's going to be our bond. That's how you guys can let me know that, right? Now, there's also an X in the middle of this emoji panel that'll close it and get rid of it. But it's a good idea to leave it open during events like this because it gives me feedback. It lets me know how I'm doing. But more importantly, it lets the people around you know what you're experiencing. So if the person next to you starts going like this, that means they found something funny, right? And you may not agree. You might be like, well, that's not funny at all. I'm going to go stand over here. And you can totally do that because this is VR, except you can't stand right here because as we agreed, you guys weren't going to stay on the stage, right? That was part of our agreement. That's our pact. That's our bond, people. All right, cool. All right, let's get going. Now, what is Quest Time? Quest Time is an event for Oculus Quest users, but all are welcome. So if you're on another device, or maybe you're thinking about getting a Quest, feel free to stick around. You may pick up some useful information that helps the growing Quest community in Altspace because, that numbers of Quest users in Altspace are growing each and every day. All right, now before we set out, I want to have some idea of, of what kind of audience we have here today so I know what to do here. If you could show me some smiley faces or hearts if you're on a Quest. Yeah, show me some love if you're on a Quest. Show me some hearts. Or put your hands up because you can. All right, let's see. Ooh, wow, there's a lot of Quest users. Oh, these are my people. All right, of you, how many of you are new Quest users? Anybody new to the Quest? Want to just throw up some, throw up your hands or, throw me some emojis here? All right, so we got some new Quest users in the house today. That's good. Any new Altspace users? Any people new to Altspace in here today? Let me see them hands up, some emojis. Oh, wow. Okay, welcome to Altspace. I think you're going to really enjoy it. A lot of great stuff to do in here. That's awesome. Very cool. All right, well, when I was waiting, how many former Go users are here today? Any former Go users? You used to have a Go or you're on a Go now and you're thinking about getting a Quest? All right, few of you. All right, cool. Yeah, I came from a Go myself, and for those of you who don't know, there is one controller on the Go, right? So when I was waiting for my Quest, I couldn't wait because I'd been Altspace for like a year then, and I was used to, like, I grew up in Brooklyn, so I'm used to expressing myself with my hands. Like, I'll talk with my hands a lot. And when I was in Altspace, all anybody saw was this. I'd just be moving that one hand, right? So I couldn't wait for this thing to arrive. I was looking forward to using this. I was going to move it around. It's going to be awesome, right? And when it arrived, I took a good look at these controllers, and I was like, that's a lot of buttons. That's a lot to take in, man. Now, don't worry. If you're new to the Quest, it only takes, a few days to about a week to really get used to it. But I like to go over some of the controls to skill everybody up. And those of you who are already familiar with the Quest, we like to combine it with some movement exercises to make it kind of fun for everybody, right? Now, And listen, if you're here, you know the basics already. You know, like the left thumbstick is going to move you around like this, right? The right thumbstick's going to turn you in these circles. And when you combine them, you get these big, elaborate circles that make my presentations so much more dramatic. If everybody could go in a giant circle like this, and that's why when I look at it, you guys, it's going to look like you're ballroom dancing. Let me see what you got. All right, well, I don't know if it's ballroom dancing, people, but it is movement. That's good. It's not really circular, though. Oh, there we go. We're starting to get some formation. You guys are starting to look fancy. Excellent. Well done. I always say I wish you guys can see what I see when you guys are doing this, and now you can. We have a YouTube channel. If you'll notice, we have Raven Eye floating in the air above you. If you want to feel Altspace famous, turn around and wave at the camera. You got to be standing on this rug area to be seen, and be like waving out there. Be like, hey, YouTube, how's it going? We got a lot of people in here. We got Skibbity Paps. We've got Illusions. We've got MLG Pro Freddy. We've also got or Mumerick. We've also got Skibbity Paps again. We got a lot of people in here. Okay, so come on in, Altspace. A lot of people in here. I think you're going to enjoy it. All right, cool. All right, let's get going. All right, now the first thing we're going to start out with is the grip button. Right now, the grip button is going to be how you interact with your environment. It's actually how I'm grabbing this laser pointer right here, and you're going to find this button on the side of your controller right here and right here. So this way, I could switch it into my left hand. I can switch it into my right hand, just like that. And you're going to use this to interact with your environment. Like if you're in the world building program, the beta program, by going into your settings menu, going to general, and you'll see it right there. You have that enabled, and it's going to allow you to build worlds with your own two hands, right? And this is also going to be how you grab, also how you grab like those fireworks, some of the cool stuff they have in the campfire, like those bean bags and stuff. And it's also going to be how you grab like these basketballs here, right? So go ahead and, try that grip button if you've never used it before, maybe throw a couple of these out there. You can toss those around and, just get kind of a real feeling for it. Let's see, I'm dropping them on the floor here. It's less than professional. All right, there we go. Awesome. Now, when you're having like a room scale experience and you're walking around, for some reason, whenever you walk out past your main menu, right? For some reason, that's always the time somebody asks you to open your main menu, right? And you look around for it. You're like, where is this thing? And you're looking around, and it's like always behind you, and that can get over really quick, right? So what you want to do is keep in mind that on a Quest, your main menu is in your hands at all times. On your left controller, you're going to find this flat button on the left controller down toward the bottom there. And whenever you press that, your main menu is going to open up in front of you. I like to combine it in like a cool move, and I flick my hand out like that. Now my menu's open. I flick it again. Now my menu's closed. The hand flick doesn't actually affect the menu opening or closing. It's just a cool way to do it. Menu's open, menu's closed. So feel free to use that if you like. That's a pretty cool thing. All right. Also, you're going to have on your, when I first came in to Altspace on my Quest, I went to the campfire to try it out, right? And I felt like I was kind of like, floating up in the air. I was feeling good, and I looked around and all the avatars were kind of below me, right? And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? It turns out on the Quest, you need to worry about your vertical movement, right? And so if you find yourself feeling too tall or too short, all you have to do is press down on your left thumbstick. Is somebody willing to change their vertical height for me? You want to stand up in your chair a little bit or scooch down? Let's see, we got Bean, come on up here a little bit closer so everybody can see you. Come stand on the rug here, get down in front of everybody. All right, now Bean, what happens when you press down on that left thumbstick? Show everybody. Boom, just like that. That's called recentering, right? So it's going to allow you to change your vertical height if you're feeling too tall or too short. The only thing you got to keep in mind is if you're looking down when you do it, right, it's going to cause you to pop up a little bit, right? It's less visible now that we don't have any legs anymore. But if you what you want to do is you want to look straight ahead and press down that left thumbstick. And this way, if you had feet, they'd be on the ground right now. But we don't have any feet because they took it from us. And I'm going to shake my fist at the admins right now and be like, where are my legs, people? All right, but yeah, that's what happened. All right, cool. All right, let's see here. We got now, also you're going to keep in mind that on your right controller, right, you have this teleport button here, this raised up button here at the very top, right? And when you press that, let's give that a try. If everybody comes up along this wall here, right, and you hold down on that button. So everybody come on over to me, line up on this wall right here, right? Make a good formation, make it nice and organized, people. All right, so if you press and hold that button down, this line's going to come out of your hand, right? And when you aim it at the floor, you're going to see your teleport circle. That's your target. And you can aim it where you want to go. So if you aim it across the room and let go, all of a sudden you will be flung across the room at speed, right? Everybody teleport over to me while there's still time. Right now, also on your left controller, you've got the trigger button on your index finger, and this is going to enable you to go faster, right? So we can run all around the room really fast. We can go around in a big circle like this. Maybe we can make a hurricane. Maybe we can make it rain. Let me see the best circle you guys can do. If you get dizzy, you don't want to do this thing. All right, let me take a look and see how you guys are doing. All right, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually. All right, it's more of like it's kind of a figure eight, sort of, but some people are doing the circles. Okay, anybody getting dizzy yet? Because, if you're dizzy, you should probably stop. Just saying. Are you going to keep on going? All right, that's cool. All right, very cool. All right, nice, good movement. Excellent, well done. All right, now also, around the time I started playing with this stuff, right, I was at the Universe, right, and back then it was held in a really large world, and I was exploring it when the event was over, and I went out to the edge of the world, and I looked off the edge, and all of a sudden I fell off the world, and I started falling, and as I was falling, right, I looked over, and there was this cliff there, and I aimed my teleport at that cliff, and as soon as I let go, boom, I was thrown right on that cliff to safety, right, and that's when I knew I was starting to get a handle on the controls. You will too. It only takes a few days to a week or so, and there's going to come a point. You remember me saying this, that you're always going to feel the plastic in your hands. But at some point, these are going to become your hands. You won't think about how you do stuff. Like if I tell everybody, "Hey, look out that window," right? I don't think about how I'm pointing. I just do it, right? So if you hold down on the side of your grip buttons, you'll find that your fingers they go into this point. All right, and you can do a variety of things like that with this. You can, you can say, "Hey, look out that window," or maybe you can go, "He went that way," right? Or maybe you can go, like this. Give me all the Brooklyn hello, right? Give me like this is how we do it. We're like, "How you doing?" Everybody go like that. Very cool, very nice. You can put them together like this and make a triangle, like the Altspace logo, right? Hold them up high. Show me a little Altspace pride, people. Let me see what you got. There we go. Oh, that's nice to see. I love seeing that. Now, if you twist them together like this, you can make kind of a picture frame, right? That's cool. Maybe you squeeze your index finger like this, kind of squeeze the shutter a little bit. How cool would it be to take screenshots like this? Be like, "Oh, you're a beautiful audience, people. Look at that. You're looking good. That's good. That's awesome." All right, another thing you can do is if you squeeze your index fingers while holding these grip buttons, you got 2 thumbs up. You're like, "You're doing a good job, Michael Forrest." 2 thumbs up. Maybe I'm not. 2 thumbs down. Maybe you don't know. A little bit of both, right? For some reason, people have been doing this lately. I don't know what it means, but it looks kind of neat. If you touch your thumbs to the buttons or the thumbsticks, you're going to find your thumbs go down. You can combine this into a cool dance move. It's like that, right? How cool is that? And, I'm told this doesn't look as cool as it feels, but, I'm going to keep on doing it. There we go. There's a variety of different gestures. The important thing is when you see somebody doing something you like, just mirror them. That's how you make it your own. Like one of the first Quest times we ever had, somebody came up to the stage and they started going like this, right? And then I did it back. And then the whole audience started going like this. And I just thought it was cool, right? And that's how you make this stuff your own. When you see somebody doing something that you like, right? You just copy them. You just mirror them. You just make it your own. All right. And that'll help out a lot with that. All right. Now let's see what else we got here. Now we got, oh yeah, too, there's another thing you can do with that speed and the teleport combination. If you face the stage, right? And you go backwards holding down an accelerate button, that left index finger on the controller, right? And you go backwards like that, right? And teleport at the floor. You'll be doing like the Altspace moonwalk, right? And kind of combine that just like that. Hope that's not like a copyright violation because I kind of like doing this. It's kind of fun. All right, cool. Another thing you can do too, if you're not aware, one time I came into the audience, you guys may have noticed I jump in the audience an awful lot. And when I came down in here, I had like the audience surrounding me a little bit and I needed to get back on stage in a hurry. So you know what I did? Right? I was able to reach my arm over the back of my head, teleport back on the stage just like that because you can teleport backwards. Yes, you can. Let me see you do it. Try it. Put your arm over your head just like that and go boom, just like that backwards. Let me see some backwards teleportation. Very good. Excellent. Well done. Excellent. That's very good. All right. So you basically, your body language, it plays a huge role in Altspace. And, having some handle on your movement like that can make your movements a lot more convincing and can, enable you to help you communicate with people a lot better in here, which is, it's a lot of fun to do. It's really great. Also, let's see, what else do we have here? Oh yeah. Also, while these are a lot of buttons, some of these buttons actually do the same thing, right? You're going to find that this select button here and the select button in your left controller, if you have your left pointer enabled through your settings menu, is going to allow you, and also your right trigger, is all going to do the same thing, right? So if you hold down your right trigger right now and point around the room, right, you're going to see we've got Santa Dax and we've got Santa over here because apparently it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. It is. It's true. But as if you hold down that trigger and move to the audience, you'll see everybody's name tags above their heads, right? So, that'll cut down on the amount of buttons you have to learn. Now, there's one important button that I don't want you to press now because if you disappear, I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it down deep. It's going to hurt. It's going to wound me. All right. It's this flat button on your right controller. Now, you got to think of this as your eject button, right? This is the best way to leave Altspace. So if somebody comes into your space and says, "Hey, dinner's ready," or something important like that, you'll be like, "Got to go," and press that flat button. Right? And then you're going to get a window that pops up asking if you want to quit or you want to resume. Now, that's great because if you press that button by accident, like you're dancing at the Universe, right, and all of a sudden you accidentally press that button, all you have to do is press resume and no one will ever know you were gone. And this way Unity won't have to destroy you with their awesome admin powers. All right. But, this is also like really the best way to press, or the best thing to press rather, when something goes wrong. Okay. So if, for example, you're walking around Altspace, you're having a good day and you turn your head to the left, right, and the whole world, it just moves with you. Right? That can make you really dizzy, especially if you're new to VR. So you're going to need to fix that in a hurry. And the way you do that is you press on that flat button on the right controller, you press quit, and you just restart the app. And this is going to take care of most of the problems that you're going to have in Altspace. But occasionally something more serious might happen. Like if I look to the left and I see this black void on the edge of the screen, I'm going to be like, uh-oh, It's the black void again, right? And then I look to the right, up, down. I see the black void all around the edges, and all my friends are frozen in space like this, and they all look very dramatic. And I'm like, what's going on? So I know what to do. I press that eject button, right? I press on that, but nothing happens, right? And I'm like, Michael Forrest, you lied to me. But that's not what's going on. It's not. Your device is frozen. And that doesn't just happen in Altspace. That happens on all apps, right? And now when your device is frozen, what do? You got to know how to restart your headset in a hurry, right? Because if you take, like when I first got my Quest, I would take my headset off to restart it. And if it's not in a charge cycle, it's not lighting up, and it takes a long time. It takes 24 seconds. And if you're in a rush, that's a long time, right? So you press that and you hold it down there, and you get to thinking that your headset's broken. So it really pays to know how to restart your headset while it's still on your head. And the way you do this is you take your index finger on your right hand and you swipe it along the side of your device, and you're going to feel that raised up power button, right? Now you take your index finger on your left hand and you squeeze against it on the other side, and this will enable you to press the button without messing up the headset on your face, right? And I find it helps to look down like you're in a deep concentration pose. And after about 4 seconds, you concentrate so hard, your avatar disappears, right? You're plunged into darkness, but you don't let go. Hang on. And after about 10 seconds go by, you start wondering, man, why did Oculus make it take so long? I don't know. And 15 seconds go by and you start thinking about friends you haven't seen in a while. You wonder how they're doing. 20 seconds go by and you start thinking about life. You start thinking about the big questions, man. You start remembering the times many. And then all of a sudden, at about 23 seconds go by, and then all of a sudden, out of the darkness, the Oculus logo emerges like the bat signal, right? And then when that happens, it'll start to pulse. And when it starts to pulse, you move your fingers away, and all of a sudden, your headset starts up normally. And this is going to take care of almost all the problems you're going to have, not just in Altspace, but on across all of your apps, right? Now, occasionally, very occasionally, something more serious might be going on. Like one time, I left Altspace, and there was this message on my screen that said, Oculus Home is closing, right? And there's a blue button to press OK. And so I pressed OK. If you ever see this message, don't press OK. Just do the whole deep concentration pose, right? Because what I saw after about, I just kept seeing the screen, just kept saying loading. And a couple minutes go by, I started getting worried. So I went into my deep concentration pose, just like that, right? And when the device restarted, it still said loading. So I knew something was seriously wrong. So when things were very serious, I went to talk about it with my good friend Google. And Google said a lot of people were having this problem, and the best thing to do was a factory reset. So I figured I'd try it, right? And it fixed everything. But you know what? You got to keep in mind, if you do a factory reset, you're going to lose everything on your device. It's going to put it back the way it was the day you got it, right? So if, for example, you've got some, meaningful photos in your gallery there, well, you're going to lose those. So you're going to want to back those up first if you can, right? You're also going to have to re-download all your apps. The good news is you won't have to pay for them again. That's pretty great. And you're going to lose all your preferences. Like, that those black edges when you move around in Altspace when you first come in, I couldn't stand that thing. Well, that's going to be back on again, right? Nobody likes that. I don't know why they even have it. It really bothers me. Supposedly, it's supposed to make people feel less dizzy, right? But so basically all your preferences are going to go away. You may even lose your Beat Saber scores, okay? So it's serious business. So keep that in mind if you have to do a factory reset. All right, now, if you're here today, you are familiar with your Guardian system already because you've done the tour, right? You've danced with the robot, you played with the blimp. It's a lot of fun, right? So you already, you went through all of that. What you may not be familiar with is how to use the Guardian system to your advantage in Altspace. Now, remember earlier when we were going around that circle, any of you guys feel dizzy a little bit, all that movement, that make you feel dizzy, especially if you knew that could happen, right? One of the best ways, even if you're not on a Quest, one of the best ways to deal with dizziness in VR, right, is hold your hand up to your face like this and take a good look at your hand. Just focus on it, right? Even though that's not your real hand, it can help steady you. And when the dizziness passes, all I want you to do is take the hand away slowly and take in the world around you, and you're going to find that really helps the dizziness. But you know what? Your Guardian system can help with this too, right? It really can. Like, let's say, now listen, when you mess around with your Guardian system, I like to say be very careful, especially if you're new to VR. It pays to lead with your hands when you're moving around your space, right? And when you get up to the edges, right, because a lot of times you'll see somebody walking along in Altspace and it looks like they're having a good day, they're having a good time, but all of a sudden, bam, they hit a wall. And their day is just kind of ruined. You don't want to ruin your device. You don't want to injure yourself, right? So you want to be very careful. So when you move around your space and you move your hands, stick your hands out, and all of a sudden you'll see that grid appear in the air in front of you, right? So if I walk up to my real world wall right now and I see, oh, there's the grid. So my wall's right here. All right, cool. Now what I can do is I can move my thumbsticks around so my avatar can move around in VR while I'm standing still in the real world, right? So now if I line up my wall with this display, I can kind of anchor myself to reality. This way, when I back up from it, right, I can take it all in and I'm feeling more balanced because I'm attached to it. No, I've fallen off the stage. Now, why don't you guys come over to me and really just mess with me? Give me your best shot. Try to make me dizzy. Give me the worst you got. Let's see what kind of audience you are. All right, that's really kind of weak. All right, you guys, you're not even trying. All right, well, the whole idea is you got to try to throw me off, make me lose my place, make me stutter, kind of mess me up. Listen, the thing is, though, as long as can see that screen, I feel connected to the real world, and I do not feel dizzy. This is, wow, you guys really just, you know what it is? You're too nice. That's the problem. You guys are just too nice. All right, now, another thing you can do is you can line it up with the edge of the stage here, right? And then maybe, line it up with like something you have in the real world, like a desk or a table. So it doesn't have to be something big like the display, just something to make you feel anchored, right? Connected and balanced, right? That's going to really help with the dizziness a lot. Another thing you can do is you can switch from a room scale to a stationary experience, effortlessly in Altspace. Like say I'm up here, right? And I'm coming up on my 350th, event in Altspace, right? It's a lot. I'm tired. I want to sit down, right? Because I've been doing this whole time, 350 events. It's a lot. I'm exhausted, right? So what I can do is I can walk up to the edge of my play space, right? And when that grid appears, I can move my hands to make sure I got enough room for my head to go through it. And when I move my head through it, the pass-through camera goes off and I can see the real world. Now, if you have experimental features turned on, they've got this cool new thing where you can double tap the side of your headset and then your pass-through camera goes off. You'll be able to see the real world. Be like, oh, there's my coffee. Take a sip of my coffee, throw it down because, I'm, kind of inconsiderate like that. And then I've got my chair over there and I'm going to go sit in my chair. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to sit in my chair and there's going to be a blue button asking if I want to switch to a stationary experience. So I press on that button, right? And then all of a sudden, the grid comes up. I find that not only am I still in VR, but I'm still in Altspace. I never left. The only difference is my avatar is going to be down a little bit lower. So as you guys know, all I do is press down on that left thumbstick, and I pop right back up, and then, I just keep going, right? And it works in the other direction, too. There was one time while I was moderating this event that we had, and, I was helping out there, and, I was, doing the whole moderation thing, and I felt like getting up and walking around. And I figured I would just get up and walk into my, my VR space there. And what happened was sometimes your Quest can lose your space. It can lose your Guardian system due to changing light levels, or for one reason or another, it can't resolve where it is in your space. So it wants you to draw a new boundary, right? Start all over. And that's normally not a problem. It's no big deal, right? But when there's 2 minutes left in the event, it's a very big deal. So I started drawing out that boundary, right? I'm drawing it along, and I'm thinking to myself, why is my play space so big, Bean? Why? I don't know. Give me a drink. That's nice. Very good. All right, cool. All right. Now, also, I'm drawing out this boundary here, and I'm thinking of all the days I had to moderate for an admin. Why did it have to be today, people? Why? And you know what happened? As soon as I closed the loop, that grid came up, right? And I found not only was I still in VR, but I was still in Altspace. I never left. All right. And this is great because this is going to enable you to be comfortable while you're having experiences here in Altspace. You can transition between stationary, you can transition between the room scale, and find what works best for you. Okay. So you can do that. That's a good thing to do. Now, next thing I'm going to show you, it's not useful, it's just cool. All right. If you go up to the edge of your play space, right, and you stick your head through it, make sure you got enough room. I don't want anybody banging their head in the wall there. So lead with your hands. Remember that. Right. So you put your hands out like that, and you got enough room for your head. And as soon as you move your head through, the pass-through camera goes off, and you can see the real world, right? But if you do this super slow, you're going to see both realities at the same time. And it's very cool because it's going to enable you to see the scale and the size of the avatars in Altspace and, get an idea of what they look like in your real world environment. Like you may not realize this, the avatars are about 6 feet tall, right? And they're a lot wider than you would think too, right? And you really get get an appreciation for this until you see them in a familiar environment, like your living room, your office, wherever you VR from. So it's just fun to do. It's like, hey, how's it going? I'm getting waved at. Is that waving at? And pure Ruby. How's it going, Ben? Nice to see you. All right, cool. I like your jacket. It's green, but it's leather. It's very tasteful. I like that. Very cool. All right. Now, one of the great things about the Quest is it just works, right? It doesn't mean it can't work better, right? You notice they have these earbuds that hang down, that kind of dangle from the side of the headset. Now, I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but I like to think when I'm wearing this thing, I look fancy. Oh, I'm being told that my voice is choppy. Does anybody think my voice is choppy? Because that can happen in events lately. Yeah, all right. You know what I'm going to do? It's not professional, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to just re-enter the space real quick because that helped clear that up. I'm going to handle this right now. Wow. Okay. Wow, guys. How about that Michael Forrest, huh? Wow, he's really killing it today. He's doing a good job. Look at that. Good stuff, right? Okay. Yeah, that's me. All right, gotta get back up there. All right. So, yeah. Now, if you got these earbuds hanging down from your headset, I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but I like to think these things make me look fancy, right? They're like VR earrings, right? So I come in wearing these for the first time, and I go to the campfire, I test them out. I've been in Altspace for like a year about then, right? And you know what? There's a breeze in the campfire. You can hear it. Nobody told me that. I didn't know this, right? I went over to that fence there, and I heard the water rushing by, right? And, I didn't know about that either. Right. It turns out there's a lot of ambient sounds in Altspace that can make it a richer, fuller, more immersive experience. So these earbuds are absolutely worth trying. Also, you have, listen, Oculus doesn't advertise this enough, but especially if you're new to the Quest, you're gonna start thinking the Quest is uncomfortable. A lot of people do, and you know what? It's not true. right? When you first get it, it is. When I first got mine, I had a sore on my forehead from using the thing. But Oculus doesn't advertise this enough that there's a breaking in period for your headset when you first get it. The oils in your face are going to soften the insert, and the springs, tension on the springs are going to like change, and the balance is going to kind of shift. And after that, you're not going to really feel it on your face so much. These are just going to become your eyes in the same way these become your hands, right? But Oculus doesn't advertise this enough. So when people, get it and they think, oh no, this is uncomfortable, I got to fix it. I got to add on an external battery pack or a counterbalance or something like that to make it more comfortable. And if people do this too soon, when the breaking in period is over, they're going to think the balance is off again. They're going to think, oh, it's still not comfortable, and then they're going to have to adjust it all over again. And a lot of people, I've known a few people who have actually returned the Quest because of this, right? And the thing of it is, you just have to wait for that breaking in period to go through. And then after a few weeks of use, right, if you still find it's uncomfortable, that's the time to change, and that's the time to try those counterbalances and those external battery packs, and also up here we have this something, an insert from VR Cover. It's really comfortable. It makes you feel like you got your face in a pillow, and they give you two of them so you can wash one while the other one's in use. And this way, especially with all, us all being having to worry about hygiene and stuff, it's a good thing to do, right? It's very cool. It's very comfortable. Also, speaking of protecting, right, you have these prescription lenses that you can put in your headset. This way you don't have to wear eyeglasses if you wear them, because if you scratch your eyeglasses and you scratch your VR headset, that can get pretty expensive, right? And you don't want to do that. So these inserts will really help. And also the box that the Quest comes in is fantastic, right? It's really great for protecting the device. You want to take good care of it, because listen, if something happens to your headset, right, it's not going to be like losing your toaster. Right, if you've made friends in here and you've made a lot of connections with people, right, you're going to experience it as an actual loss. I've seen it happen. So take good care of your equipment. A good way to do this is this case that we have available on the bottom. And if you want to try any of these products out, just go to altvr.com. In the upper left, you're going to see a link that says channels. And when you click on it, you're going to see all these wonderful event channels listed out that Altspace has. And down toward the bottom, I'm told that doesn't mean anything to be at the bottom. I'm told it doesn't mean anything at all. All right. And you're going to see Ravenhall events listed there, like it says on the sound booth there. And when you press on that, you get taken to our event page. And on the left-hand side, you'll see all these products listed if you want to try any of them. Right. You'll also see a join Discord button. We have a lot of fun in there. You want to come by and say hello or ask us questions, you totally can. And you're also going to see in the upper right, the most important button on the internet, people. It's the subscribe button. And when you press it, right, it lets Altspace know that you enjoy our content. Now, we don't get paid to do this, but every time we see that number go up, it makes us feel good. It's a great way to say thank you. It makes us feel almost as good as when, somebody subscribes to our YouTube. We love that the most, I think. And speaking of YouTube, listen, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to try these products out, you'll find the links for these in the description below. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to now be taking your questions and or your comments. And the way we're going to do this, right, is you're going to see on your right, you're going to see a raise hand button appear as if by magic, right? Because that's what magic looks like in VR. It really does. It's true. All right. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to press that raise hand button if you have a question or comment. And while we wait for that to fill up, you can find us on Twitter if you're on Twitter by going to @__ Uncanny Valley, right? I know it looks like one underscore, but it is actually two. All right, we have Lilana. I hope I'm saying that right. You're on first, and I get to feel like a radio announcer. You're on the air, Lilana. Where are you? I don't see you. Where are you? Where'd you go? I'm not seeing you. Okay. This is awkward. I don't see you and I don't hear you. Okay. Maybe you pressed that button by accident, possibly. Yeah, wait, no, I'm hearing something coming in. Sounds like background noise. Okay, going once. Going twice. Okay, maybe you pressed the button by accident. All right, let's get rid of that there. Well, now we have Mig Pro. I don't know if I'm saying that right because you don't get to see the whole name up here. Where are you, Mig Pro? There you are, right there. Mig Pro Freddy. What's going on? How's it going? You're on the air. You have a question or a comment? Are you moving your hands like you're talking, but I'm not hearing you? Is anybody else hearing Freddy? Because I'm not hearing Freddy. Freddy? Are you there, man? Your microphone's open and I can't hear you. All right, you got maybe a problem with your microphone. You might want to try to re-enter into space, and that can help. All right, I'm going to take you off here. Actually, I don't see anybody else on the list, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right? Normally, at the end of our events, we have this cool button on the wall, which is not working this week and will be back available in the first week of August. So if, definitely should come back and check that out. It's a great effect. We have a Ravenhall Talon hovercraft, which is like an aircraft that flies down the street, and it comes in to pick us up and take us to the Ravenhall Flight Academy, all right, where you can fly these things around. It's just a lot of fun, and it's awesome. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to head on out, and I'm going to ask you guys if you've learned anything here today at all. Please share it with those you come in contact with. So if you're standing around, somebody's down on the ground, you walk up to them and you go, "What's wrong?" And they look up and they go, "I'm on a quest. I'm stuck in ground. You tell them to press down on that left thumbstick. You'll feel better because you help somebody. They'll feel better because they're standing tall again. And that's how we help keep this thing going, right? All right, very cool. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to head on out. I'm going to take the stage blocker off so you guys come on up here and join me as we head on out. Everybody come up on stage and we'll go right back here. And this is going to be a teleporter that I got hidden right here. So come on up and we're going to head on out to the Ravenhill Flight Academy, teach you guys how to fly. And if you have any more questions, we'll take them there, okay? So just head on out into that blue light right there, and I'll see you all there, all right? Thanks for coming, everybody. You've been a great audience. Oh, this must look cool on camera because we're all going backstage. That's right, YouTube. You can't come back here. This is for us. This is our moment, okay? You want to see what's back there? You come into Altspace. That's right. I'm leaving. Come on. Come on, people. Let's get out of here. We don't need that, YouTube. Bye, YouTube. Yeah, I didn't mean it. You're my favorite. You know that. All right, cool. See you guys next time.